Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news, so listen, folks. This is one of those rumors that could actually reshape the entire NFC landscape, especially for the Cowboys. Word is that the San Francisco 49ers, despite their recent success, are facing some serious financial hurdles and a looming rebuild after the 2025 season. Their cap situation is dire, with a negative cap space of around $20 million, and their defense has been leaking points, allowing an average of 24 points per game. They've also been dealing with injuries on their defensive line, which has impacted their run defense, allowing about 4 yards per carry, ranking 14th overall. Their overall grade from PFF sits at a modest 79.6, which isn't terrible, but it's not elite either. Now here's the kicker. Sources indicate that the 49ers are considering trading one of their biggest stars, linebacker Fred Warner, to the Cowboys in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. Yes, you heard that right. The idea is that the 49ers want to free up some cap space, especially with upcoming extensions for players like Brock Purdy, who's projected to cost around $40 million annually. The rumor was first leaked by Diana Rossini at The Athletic at the beginning of January, and it's causing quite a stir across the NFC. For the Cowboys, this isn't just a rumor about adding a star linebacker. It's about making a bold statement. Imagine Fred Warner, a player with elite instincts, versatility, and leadership, lining up in Dallas. That would be a huge boost for a defense that's already looking strong but could use a playmaker who can control the middle of the field. Fred Warner, for those who might not be fully familiar with his impact, has been an absolute beast in 2025. He racked up 142 tackles, including 6 interceptions, and earned a stellar 94 grade from PFF. What sets him apart is his coverage ability. He's rated at 92. 1 in coverage, which is top among linebackers. He's allowed just 48% of passes thrown his way to be completed, and he's racked up 18 tackles for loss, along with 4-5 sacks and 15 passes defended. He's a complete linebacker, a real sideline-to-sideline type who can shut down the run and cover tight ends and receivers in the middle of the field. Plus, he's been remarkably durable, missing only a single game due to a hamstring injury in Week 4. Over his career, Fred has amassed nearly 900 tackles, 14 interceptions, and an overall PFF grade averaging around 98. He's a player who reminds many of the great Ray Lewis in terms of leadership and instinct. Now, why would the 49ers consider trading such an impactful player? Well, aside from their cap issues, they're also looking at the future. Bosa's extension is looming, with a $32 million hit coming soon, and they're trying to balance their books while keeping a competitive roster. Their defense, which has been ranked 14th, is leaking yards and points, partly because of injuries and some strategic gaps. Their offense, led by Purdy, has been inconsistent at times, with a turnover rate of about 36%. They're banking on young offensive linemen and draft picks to rebuild, but in the short term, they need to stabilize their defense and get more cap flexibility. Trading Warner for a second-round pick would be a strategic move to that end. From Dallas's perspective, acquiring Warner would be a game-changer. He instantly becomes the heartbeat of the linebacking core, pairing up with Leighton Vander Esch and creating a formidable trio capable of shutting down the run and disrupting passing lanes. His presence would elevate the entire defense, allowing Dallas to be more aggressive in their coverage schemes and blitz packages. Considering how the Cowboys have been looking to improve their run defense, allowing just 4 yards per carry compared to the league average, adding a player like Warner would push that number even lower. He's adept at making tackles in tight spaces, and his ability to shed blocks and make plays behind the line of scrimmage would significantly boost Dallas's run-stopping ability, especially against divisional rivals like the Eagles and Giants. Let's not forget, the Cowboys already have a solid linebacker core with guys like Micah Parsons and Leighton Vander Esch, but Warner's addition would take them to another level. His ability to cover tight ends, running backs, and even zone coverage makes him an all-around threat. Plus, his leadership is unquestioned. In high-stakes playoff games, having a guy like Warner who can read plays, communicate effectively, and make game-changing plays can be the difference between a deep postseason run and an early exit. His presence on the field, especially in the playoffs, would give the Cowboys a tactical advantage over their NFC rivals, especially considering how the NFC East has become increasingly competitive with teams like the Eagles and Giants improving their defenses. Of course, the potential trade isn't just about plugging a hole. It's about recalibrating the entire team's approach to defense. The Cowboys, under Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, have shown a willingness to adapt, and bringing in a linebacker of Warner's caliber would be a statement of intent. It signals that Dallas is all in on contending for another Super Bowl, especially with a window that's still very much open. The team has been building around Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard, but adding a defensive leader like Warner would be the finishing touch to a roster that's already competitive. It would also send a message across the league that the Cowboys are serious contenders and not afraid to make bold moves to strengthen their squad. Now, some might wonder about the cap implications. Yes, Warner's salary is around $28 million, which is sizable but not insurmountable given the potential benefits. Dallas has already been active in restructuring contracts and making cuts, like releasing Steele, which frees up about $10 million to create room for key signings and trades. Moreover, with the Cowboys projected to be a top defense once again, adding Warner could push their efficiency even higher, especially in passing defense and third down stops. They've been great at forcing turnovers, but Warner's knack for creating turnovers, his interception numbers and forced fumbles, would give Dallas an extra edge. Looking at the big picture, this move could be a catalyst for a Super Bowl push. Vegas odds already favor Dallas more if this trade were to happen, boosting their chances from +800 to +300, according to Vegas Insider. That kind of shift shows just how impactful Warner could be in Dallas's championship pursuit. His ability to demolish screens and cover in tight spaces, combined with his leadership, makes him a perfect fit for the Cowboys' defensive identity. And considering how the 49ers might be more focused on their rebuild, this could be a unique opportunity for Dallas to strike before the draft and set their team for a deep playoff run. In conclusion, if the Cowboys can pull this off, it's more than just a trade. It's a statement. It's about building a defensive empire that can dominate in January and beyond. Warner would be a cornerstone, a visionary leader who can elevate Dallas's defense to new heights, making them even more formidable in the NFC. The 49ers are clearly in a rebuild phase, and Dallas has a real shot to capitalize on that by adding a player of Warner's caliber. It's a move that could define the next era of Cowboys football, one where they're not just contenders but legitimate Super Bowl favorites. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news.